This is part two. So what I was trying to say is that with Mila J's video, she pointed out something where oftentimes, once again, when you transition, it's a difficult journey. Not only that, but when it comes to dating for us, a lot of us are single, a lot of us are chronically single, a lot of us have been single for years. So us, from the trans woman perspective, it's sort of like we outside the club, girl. And, we often I would say, I don't want to say idolize, but we put it on a pedestal. We do. All of us do that. I'm going to be real with you. Well, most of us do, at least, if we're invested in that. As trans women, we definitely, put finding a man on a pedestal, hopefully getting married on a pedestal, just receiving that affirmation of love and that affirmation of our womanhood. Although that is something that we should be doing for ourselves. I can't front to say that that's not something that's not in the back of our minds when we date. And for me, I've been single for years. I don't like to tell a lot of my personal business on the internet, child. But if you Google me, everything is out there, child. But not everything, but a lot of stuff is out there. But when it comes to my personal, like intimate life, I've been single. Oh my God. Girl, I've been single all of my adulthood, honestly, because, I had a situation where I thought I actually had my first boyfriend, what was it, about 8 years ago in like 2016? Oh my God, was that 8 years? That was 9 years ago. About 9 years ago. I thought no, I'm so sorry. When did I meet him? Oh, child. Long story short, I met someone in my early 20s, right? I was like 23, 24 when I met him. That was back in 2016. So I was 24 when I met this man. And I thought we were together. The relationship was very short. But what's so interesting, you guys, is that um, we reconnected after not talking for 6 years. And when we did reconnect at one point, after not talking for 6 years, I'm not going to say when we reconnected, there were some talks of like, hey, do we want to pursue this? What are you looking for now? Long story short, this man, basically wanted one thing, as most men do, and you can read between the lines there. He only wanted one thing. But I asked him a question. I said, hey, when we were in our early 20s, because now I'm in my early 30s, but I was, way back when, 9 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever, did you actually feel the same, right? Because in my mind, we were together. We had a conversation about being together. We talked about it. We talked about us being exclusive. The relationship was extremely short. It was not that long at all. It's like a blip in my history, right? He flat out said that he was 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and he wasn't with me like that. You get what I'm saying? So it just goes to show you, after me and him had this exclusive conversation of being together, he switched up the script years later and admitted to me, hey, we weren't even really together like that. Like, I was still looking. Now he told me he didn't cheat or anything like that, although I think he was, but he said he did not. And he said that he was 1 foot in and 1 foot out, meaning that he was not, and he said this to me, he was like, I wasn't all the way into you like that. So we were together. We did have that conversation. He agreed. He was like, we were together, but I just wasn't all in. So when he said that, it did hurt my feelings, right? But it was a reality check, and it was mean for him to say that. It was a mean thing for him to say that, but it was an honest thing for him to say that. And for me, I was like, you know what? It hurt. It definitely hurt my feelings, but that's the reality check of how a lot of these men are. So is having a man embarrassing? I would say that if you have a man, you just have to make sure that he's really into you and he's really all the way there, and he's not going to do anything to disrespect y'all's partnership, period. And if you can meet a man who is evolved and mature, because I do believe there are good men out there, although I'm kind of in my man hating era right now, child. Men get on my nerves. Oh my God, Summer Walker just dropped her album Finally Over, and I'm about to listen to that tonight because men are wearing me out, and men have worn me out all my life, child, from my father to everybody. Just it's living in this patriarchal world and being interested in men, you're gonna go through some things. So is having a man embarrassing? The funny side of us can say yes. The serious side of us is kind of a stretch to say that. But it's not really a stretch, because I think it pushes all women to question, when you have a man, are you actually seen in this relationship? Is it a relationship that also serves you, not just him? Is it a relationship where both parties respect the relationship, not just him? Because Because, we don't want a man that's embarrassing. Nobody wants that, you know. So that's enough of my rant on this. I'm going to leave it alone here. I was going to do a longer podcast, but I did not feel like it because I kept putting it off. So here it is on TikTok. I will post this on my YouTube channel. You could check out my podcast, The Stark Effect, on YouTube. You could go to YouTube, type in Khalif Now. That's Kaleefnow. Subscribe to my channel, like and support. I talk about celebrity news, trending topics, and hard news, aka political stuff. So it's a love of labor doing this. So, if you are a supporter and if you like me, I pray that you stay. If you are a hate watcher, child, leave me alone. Do I have any final thoughts on this? No, no. Is having a man embarrassing? That's crazy. Damn, that's a good headline, Shantae. Oh my goodness. Because it went viral because it's forcing, it's forcing us to really think about these things. Now, having a man shouldn't be embarrassing, but, I just think it. Oh, okay, wait, before I go. There was one part of this article where she said that one lady told her that having a man, or she saw on the internet, it was a lady who said having a man today feels like being a Republican, which was crazy. But, you see how those Republicans voted, okay? So there's just so many key things with this particular article that really emphasize gender in modern times, the differences in gender in dating and love and relationships. So this article was great. Now, I have a friend who's like, oh my God, this is like fake feminism, da 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 da. Valid critiques. I love her down. Valid critiques. But, this op-ed is just, it's forcing people to really have these conversations, okay? And I think the headline is great. The publicist in me is like, ooh, shake it up. Anyways, those are my thoughts on that Vogue article. Okay, bye.